Hello, welcome to my video. My name is Putu Ayu Laras Pratindra Malagiri. In this video, I will talk about several questions about e-learning course. So, we'll continue. I have 10 questions. For the first is, what is online learning? Explain also synchronous and asynchronous. Online learning is a learning process that uses some technologies and internet. It can be held in the classroom or outside the classroom. Synchronous learning is a learning process that happens in the same time. Asynchronous learning is a learning process that happens at different times. And the second is the basic features of an LMS. The first is announcement. Announcements usually the first thing students see when entering an online course. It is the place where the teacher communicates important updates to the class. For the example is you can see on the slide. Syllabus. After reading the announcements, the students review the course syllabus. It is an essential component of the course environment. It provides structure for the course and outlines course expectation. The next is lessons. Online lessons replace the lectures, discussion, and activities that may take place in an outside classroom. The lessons are the core instructional container for our course. The next is discussion forums. Discussion forums features is an asynchronous communication tool that allows for the exchange of ideas through the use of a message board format. And the next is Dropbox and assignment upload. To submit assessment, the teacher may require the students to upload their document to an online Dropbox. A Dropbox is a digital space in which documents, presentation, link to website, and more can be uploaded by students. The next is gradebooks. To communicate grades and feedback to learners, it is a tool that displays students, participants, assessment, and etc. The next is researches. Researches is a digital course reading and references are organized in a section. And last is course mail. Course mail is to send out important messages to students. And the third is, as an online course teacher, give the example of a good introduction writing for one topic. For the first is keep your introduction short and clear. And the second is say hello and give a little bit of information about yourself. Don't say anything too private or personal. And the third is you can say what you hope to get or learn. And the fourth is wish people good luck. And the fifth is you don't have to write full sentences. For the example, as you can see on the slide. For the next question is why online material must be attractive? What elements are needed? To engage the students' participation in your online learning, the elements are, for the first is rationales for good visual designs. This is support understanding through simplicity, clarity, and organization. And the second is visual designs online. Classroom teacher in some field depend on using visual in the classroom. We must keep in mind that content presented in text is visual as well in working online. And the third is a page layout. Page layout must be open, that there is enough white space on the page to keep mind clear. For the example is space surrounding. Space surrounding text, the space between line and paragraph provide right space, give the reader the visual break. And the next is line length. And the next is justification. Justification always use left justified text with range right margin as we have in this guide. The next is headings and subheadings. Heading and subheadings signal the organization of the content. The next is text. Text include typeface. Typeface important to keep in mind that typeface have a much lower resolution than typeface on paper. And the next is type size. Type size is help the reader easier to read clear and suggest to use normal size at least 11 size. And the next is bold and italic. Both bold and italic used promptly can use very effective for emphasize when used frankly. Italic used for titles of work or extension. The next is underlining. Underlining only for hyperlinks. Use make for hyperlinks only. And the next is avoid using all caps. Should only be used for acronyms. Avoid using them for emphasize. They are not as readable as lowercase letter because they are more uniform in size. The next is color. Color can make an impact if it used with can save lighter colors for special emphasis such as lighting, so contrast an important factor in readability. The fifth is graphic elements. For the graphics element include symbol and icons. Symbol and icons very useful in signaling small element in a website that appear over and over again. And the next is bullets and numbers in a series. To set apart items that can be listed, numbers are used to identify sequential steps in a task or process, and also used for ranking, and bullets are used to highlight a series of items that are not or sequenced. And the next is visual designs basic in the online class. You can follow most of standards. We have light out for type, justification, heading, bullets, and number fairly easily. And the fifth question is types of online learning activities. For the first is class discussion. Include using discussion forum, question and answer, topic discussion. It can be done in pair of full class session. And the second is online journaling activity. Include by using blog, individual reflection, teacher reflection or modeling. It can be done individually. And the third is share knowledge base. By using wiki, can be collaborative glossary. It can be done in group or full class. And the fourth is practice exercises. Include testing or quizzing. It can be in multiple choice of self-assessment. It can be done in individually or pair. The fifth is group projects. By using group works, wikis, or blogs or discussion forum, it can be in the form of group presentation, group research project, or etc. It can be done in group or full class. The sixth is receptive activities. By using podcasts, Google presentation, or YouTube, it can be audio or video presentation. Course reading using audio or video. It can be done individually. The next question, online discussion is one important element in online learning. Sometimes it may not work well. How does a teacher optimize discussion? For the first is pose a good question, and the second is describe your expectation, and the third is give a clear parameter, and the fourth is give some opportunities to the students. The fifth is monitor the discussion, and the sixth is reading online class. Okay, this is a learning researchers video, for example, to make teaching and learning process interesting.
A long ruler. I have a short ruler. This is my book. It's a thick book. And this is my book. It's thin.
Okay, for the next question is an example of effective assessment in English online teaching and learning. For the first is learning objectives. Students are able to retell a story about narrative text orally. And the second is assessment, to retell a story about narrative text orally. For the first, include procedure and product, type, spoken, instrument. Please choose one of the two stories entitled Timun Mas or Bawang Putih and Bawang Merah. The second is, after that, please try to retell the story that you choose in orally. And the next question is the basic elements to consider when building an online course. For the first is learning outcomes, are the core of the process that creates course and programs that follow through on their promise. And the next is an online syllabus, contains a very detailed course outline and a thorough explanation of how the online course is organized and will operate. And next is course outline, calendar that presents a sequence of learning activities. And last is assessment, point out the assessment to measure your content to make the students are success in learning process. And the last question is an example of one online lesson in the class or for one meeting. For the example is you can see on the slide. Okay, I think that's all about my video. Thank you.